Oh boy. Here we go, recording again. So, I was discussing on like doing like a more edited video of like going back through what I've done and taking clips and doing a narration, you know, the typical content creator stuff. But it's, first of all, it would take time. Which I know sounds lazy, but keep in mind the kind of thing I'm doing right now. I'm doing this challenge here in Diablo, and I've only got so much time, and I've just piled extra difficulty on my plate. So for those not familiar, the hardcore solo self-found challenge from Maxroll, the community event, it's quite difficult on its own, and I've chosen, as you can see here, to only wear a hat. I've not hidden any transmogs, I'm just not wearing anything besides a hat. And finally I found a use for this transmog specifically. In fact, that's the only transmog. I got really lucky. I noticed with the shield, I didn't even change it, it just happened to be like that already. And that is my one mythic, or not mythic, unique, the Butcher's Cleaver. And then we have some jewelry. And that's it for my equipment, making things quite challenging. I'm gonna turn down the music in case it's a little on the too loud side. I've recently raised it in the game. Actually, it's too loud in my ears, so I'm going to go into the options and do that right now before we get to talking. So, boop, boop, boop. Oh, sounds. What am I doing? They're back to normal. I had turned it up because I did a long grind for the last video, and to get to level 60, which we achieved without dying. But I didn't want to do any commentary, so I turned up the music. I figured that would be enjoyable. I was enjoying it. Had a lot of close calls, but sadly, like, because it was last night, I don't really remember a lot of what I did, but I do remember like certain choices that I've made, like the fact that when I found the Butcher's Cleaver, I knew without a doubt that this was going to be the mythic that it's not going to carry me forever, because I have an idea of a mythic that I want more than this. But for now, it is absolutely fantastic. It's got a massive damage boost versus versus injured enemies, so I can finish things really quickly, especially bosses, which is nice. It's got a huge boost to physical damage, which is also really nice. A huge boost to critical strike chance against feared enemies, which it has a 100% chance to do whenever I critically strike, and my critical strike is actually rather decent. Can't really tell while I'm in in town. Let me go to the training room real quick. But even without a rune word to have bonus crit, I still have quite a bit of crit. So this item is actually doing me a lot of work. Yeah, there we go. So it's only at 18% right now. I didn't realize it was so low. Oh, my lucky hit, not my crit. Yeah, 29% right now. I'm getting a little bit from this ring. Yeah, but I think, yeah, a little bit from the helmet, because it got sanctified with the lucky hit. But yeah, okay, so let's go over our progress with the gear so far. I've got the life on kill, which is okay. I mean, I do like when there's large groups of enemies, that does keep me topped off. The thorns, I don't know that I'm getting much utility out of. I don't really have any thorn synergy, but that lucky hit chance, physical resistance, and the sanctified lucky hit chance are fantastic, and the aspect is amazing. The fact that I get 2 extra skelly boys and skelly mages, very happy about that. Ideally, I would like to get this effect on an amulet to get an extra one of each, but honestly, I think that might be a waste because it would just be diminishing returns. Like, getting 2 extra of each brings me from 4 to 6 and from 3 to 5, which is a very nice increase. But if I just get 1 more, I'm sacrificing my amulet slot, which could have another effect that is more unique. Like, it could be a fresh damage. Well, I mean, like, look what's on it right now. I've got the is that Great Feast? Yeah, Great Feast aspect of the Great Feast. So while I have active minions, my summons deal 60% more damage, but each minion drains 3 essence per second, which I'm not really concerned with. And while I have no active minions, I deal increased damage, but drain essence, whatever. I'm always going to have minions. I need the ability to have damage out there while I'm running around in a circle screaming. You can see what. Oh, my cat was scratching at my door. Sorry about that. But you can see on my action bar, nothing except for Decrepify currently uses my essence at all. And it is quite annoying that I often don't have the essence to cast Decrepify, but it does refresh at the, you can see down here, we often do get over 30 because it doesn't trigger the drain until I have enough to pay the full cost. So I frequently will have enough to cast at least 1 or 2 Decrepifies, but I have to catch it at the right moment. It's kind of annoying, but you can see as we talk that it's up more often than it's down. So it's not the biggest deal. And hopefully at some point I'll get an aspect of that makes the aura of curse around me. I really, really like that one. It is nice to be able to project Decrepify out, but it's more my style to just run through stuff to curse them. Probably not going to actually be a good strategy now I'm thinking about it, considering if I die, it's game over. Might need to rethink that one. But for now, this extra source of a damage buff that affects all summons is fantastic. Then I have right now casting ultimate increases my damage from my ultimate. I don't know that this is really, the damage buff is really doing all that much for me. Every 10 times, 10 times I cast, a cooldown is reset. Okay, cool. I'm just using Bone Storm right now because, well, I quite like the Bone Storm, but it does increase my damage reduction while it's active. It also increases my critical strike chance and attack speed while it's active. The attack speed is not super important because, as you can see here, I don't have an attack really. That's the cat. 1 second. All right, get out. Dude. Go. Goblin. Oh. I knew when he came in here he wasn't going to want to stay. Once he realized I wasn't giving him attention and I was doing something else. But yeah, I don't really have an attack, but the crit chance is fantastic. What else were we talking? What were we talking about? I've gone like down like 3 different chains. Oh, the equipment, right. So this aspect is not super amazing, but the fact that it has attack speed, vulnerable damage, and fire resistances are super important for me because, like, if basically at this point now, if an item doesn't have resistances, I don't know that I can justify it in the build. It's basically required. In fact, you'll see I have a yellow ring here. Why do I have this yellow ring? It had lightning resistance, which was one of my deficits. Go up to my resistances. And I still have a cold and shadow resistance deficit because I found this hat with physical resistance. In fact, that's why I have a diamond right now, because I used to have a skull in there. But then when I found this, I already had, I think One of the other ones also has more physical resistance, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It was just the hat. But I had to give up my cold resistance, and my shadow resistance was already lagging behind. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll swap to a diamond. It's not a huge boost. I mean, because like, but I need everything I can get. That's really what it comes down to. What I really need is access to larger gemstones. So I need to go farm up Duriel and get that gift fully leveled up so that I'll start getting chances for better gem drops. But yeah, the stats on this yellow one ended up being everything I would want, even though it doesn't have an aspect. And since, you know, we're doing the solo self-found and we're not using NPCs in town, in case you weren't familiar with the rules, means I can't really customize any gear except for a random sanctification. Yeah, Subo, I'm talking. So the fact that it had lightning resistance, a socket, I think the main reason was that it had a socket was why I took it. It also had max life, lucky hit chance, a lot of things that synergize well with my build. So the Eternity Anvil, it's not going to be here to stay, but it's definitely here for now. Oh right, the Sanctify on this, getting the extra vulnerable damage, that was quite nice. But there's other sanctifications that I would much rather have without being greedy, obviously, and saying, you know, like, oh, wouldn't it be great if I got this aspect I wanted? No, can I get some stats that I'm missing, please? Because I had, let's go to the trophy case real quick. So I had this for the longest time, the Furious Thresher of Reanimation, which was carrying me so far because of sanctifying for 300 extra intelligence. It was, I did not realize just how amazing that was going to be, because it also increases my resistances. So it shored up my defenses for giving up the shield while also making everything that much stronger. And it had a lot of different affixes of damage, so it was giving me a more than 10% boost in summon damage, more than a 10% boost in regular damage, almost a 40% boost in vulnerable damage. It's raising my intelligence enough that I'm getting like 30 or 40% more skill damage. Like all across the board, this thing was amazing. And then it had 2 sockets. The Sapphire's in there because I used that to pop my runes out. I was putting a rune word in it because the only way I can use a rune word with my rules being, hold on, let me grab this and actually, you know what, we'll just go outside and stare at my treasure because I'm just sick of these guys making noise in the background. Rude. Oh, I just noticed that I need to turn my desktop capture off. There we go. Had a little stuff down at the bottom. I don't know why it does that, because I have the canvas sized to the source of the game. It shouldn't show anything else when I pop open the desktop. Like, it should be stretching off the canvas. Makes no sense to me. Anyway, so this is our trophy case. And there's a few things I wish that I had gotten into this case. Like, the first legendary I found was a pair of pants from a goblin just outside of town. Like, and by just outside of town, I mean, like, he was like, where was he? Oh, I didn't walk here. I think I walked out from here. So it was like somewhere in this area. Yeah, because I didn't walk out this way. I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure I was over here. But like that close. Like if it was over here, it would have been like in one of these areas. Like it was right outside of town. It was ridiculous. Although if you go back and check, it might be completely wrong on that. Who knows? Memory's a funny thing. But because it was pants, I didn't keep it because I don't wear pants. I don't wear shirts. I don't wear gloves. I don't wear boots. We are a grubby necromancer hobo who only wears hats and jewelry. Speaking of jewelry, this was my first unique that I found. The Ring of the Sacrilegious Soul. I was very happy to find this for a couple of reasons, but they're very simple reasons. The first reason being it has move speed. I was very happy to have that 11 move speed. But the second actually being that it automatically raised skeletons, so I didn't have to think about it. I tried using Corpse Explosion and Corpse Tendrils, but I just was not getting into it. None of my damage that I do really synergizes with all the summon boosts that I have. So I kept having to split my build, and my summons would just not be getting the benefits if I was trying to do something else while focusing on them. So that's why it's now in my chest. Not just that it's level 35, but that's why it's in my chest over the Eternity Anvil, because the lightning resistance and the max life are way more important to me now. That, and it's like, if all I'm using it for is to be lazy and not have to raise skeletons, it's really not worth it. Especially considering what I really gave it up for, I had this ring already in my inventory. I was finding equipment on my way to level 60, and I got the Butcher's Cleaver. When that dropped, I knew immediately that I wanted to switch, because this is actually, like, I cannot stress just how amazing this item actually is, especially for my build. And by my build, I mean using the necromancers, or using the necromancer, using the summons, because all of my summons do physical damage. The only spells that I use that does damage, Bone Storm, and the Golem's attack, do physical damage. So this is a huge boost to my damage. It also has that huge boost to damaging injured enemies. And it's got move speed, so I didn't lose that move speed. And it's got the chance to fear enemies. And it does extra critical strike chance against feared enemies. All of these things are just fantastic. Then it's sanctified for plus 21 item quality, which, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the item quality sanctification, because it's to me it's a little bit frustrating. I'm turning you're giving up the chance to have like a really good one thing to buff all of the item's stats, which isn't terrible. And I'm not saying that it's a bad aspect. I absolutely could have gotten something way worse, like shadow damage, which would be worthless on this, because there's no way I'm going to give up the 83% physical damage to suddenly add a little shadow damage to my build. No way. So it was a synergistic add-on, but I still would have really preferred something more substantial that was narrowly focused instead of the broad focus of item quality. But still, I'm not going to complain too loudly, especially considering this probably won't be the last Butcher's Cleaver that I see. It is kind of annoying, though. I don't think you can really effectively target farm this item, but if I only had one... I mean, the fact that it's level 52 is a bit of a bummer as well. I will need to find a level 61 that sanctifies well enough and has decent affixes, because that was the other thing too, is like, if you roll back the quality, you can see that a lot of the numbers on this were actually pretty good to start with. It was a pretty good roll on this Butcher's Cleaver. I may have to show off the or like go back into the playback and get like a screenshot of it before it was sanctified to show off, because it's a really nice Butcher's Cleaver considering it was a random drop. I found this while doing the no commentary, by the way. Almost all of the equipment I'm wearing, I believe. Yeah. Everything over 50, because I was running around. I think I started that when I was like level 44, no, like level 48 or something. And just power grinded through to the end. Well, as power grindy as you can safely. The other things that are in here, create a collection of gold. I did a Whisper did the whispers and got rewarded a choice between an item I can't wear, an item I can't wear, or a greater collection of gold, which is worthless to me. It's not worthless. We get to the point where we can start getting mythic the mythic tributes. We can use that to target farm amulets, but that's so far down the line that I'm really not stressing it. And maybe when we get to that point, I'll crack this open. But I figured, you know what? We'll be silly. I'll just grab the greater collection of gold and throw it in my stash. Put it in the trophy case. The other things here, we have this cursed item we found rather early on. I think that was either the end of episode 1 or the start of episode 2. Or part 1, part 2. Our first legendary amulet, which is quite nice. And our first legendary weapon. I don't remember if I had a different legendary that was my first that I could equip, and then I just forgot to save it, or what. I know I definitely forgot to save any of the shields I've had, which I really should have. I kind of feel like I should have saved most of the items that hung around with me for quite some time as in the trophy case, because that's essentially what this is going to be, is the trophy case. I had this idea of storing tons of items. There's no way I'm using this, right? Yeah, there's no way I'm giving up that aspect. But anywho, I had this idea of like having like a bunch of random items that I would hold on to in case like I needed to like switch up my build for some reason, whether it was, you know, mainly to like target farm specific bosses. There might be builds that were more convenient, or not more convenient, but more effective and safer and whatnot. But in the end, I just, well, obviously I'm not going to do that until I get level 60 anyway, but now I'm just realizing that there's really not much I would change about my build. There's not many uniques that I would take over the Butcher's Cleaver. There's really only one, and that would be, I forget what it's called, but, you know, spoilers, it's the Golem Stick that goes in the same slot. Because if I can get that, it'll boost my golems power significantly. And this big chunky boy here, I am impressed. Quite impressed. I did not realize the Blood Golem's AoE for his activation is so large. And the fact that he's protecting me by absorbing some of the damage I take. Like, ooh. I really like the Blood Golem. So I've been using the Iron Golem on my non-hardcore necromancers and enjoying that, but I did not realize just how amazing the Blood Golem is. So I'll probably try and get a hold of one of those golem sticks so that I can have 3 of them, which will, of course, you know, spread the Bone Storm out. But the Bone Storm isn't really here for damage. It's not really going to do a lot of damage. I did just notice the lucky hit chance is fantastic, which means when it's active, it's fearing just about everything, which is amazing. The other reason I'm using Bone Storm is I'm hoping to get on some piece of equipment the aspect that when it's active, I get to keep a barrier. I'm also hoping to be able to find a helmet that is similar to this effect. I mean, see, this is the thing, is I need to start recognizing that I only have so many slots, and I need to figure out how I'm going to use them. And what, because I'm pretty much not going to be able to use the one that does the curse aura. I just can't justify it. I need more important things, like an extra couple of skeletons. And oh, I didn't go over the shield. Yeah, just it's because it's not super impressive. It did have fire resistance and max life and whatnot, but the blight effect is not useful to me. So I'm really not sure. Like, this is fantastic. It would be nice to have the one where the longer your summons are alive, the more damage they get. And trying to think of some of the other ones. The attack speed one would be nice for them as well. Their summons get attack speed. And then if I also have boosty skellies, that means I only have one slot for a defensive aspect. And I think I absolutely need to have the Bone Storm barrier, because I can fortify on my own, but having a consistent barrier is a big one. And I don't think so collections, codex, search. Excuse me. This might be useful because in combat I do keep up a smaller barrier. That could potentially be good. Oh, it's increased by. Oh, it's additive. So that could potentially. What does that mean? It's I'm confused. So that would double my damage reduction if I'm reading that correctly. I don't think I'm reading that correctly. Yeah, here's the one that I would like to get a hold of. Because essentially while Bone Storm is up, I will be protected. And then I would use the rune word that reduces cooldown time of your ultimate for like, you know, each summon you have. Use that one. And that way I would be able to potentially always have Bone Storm up. Because this one, yeah, no. None of these other ones are, and that's an offensive one anyway. So yeah, aspect of the Shielding Storm is probably what I'm gonna want to get. As far as offensive aspects, I think it's only ones for summons that I would be interested in. Where are they? I can do my letters. I know my letters. No thank you. Yeah, this one. Each time one of my enemies damages an enemy, they can get attack speed for 3 seconds up to a big chunky amount. If I can get a max roll on this and give them 50% attack speed boost, that would be fantastic, especially for taking down bosses. Why did this show up for summons? I do like this one though. I had this on my helmet for a while. I would probably be like take this if I can't get a hold of the Bone Storm. I would probably hold on to this for a while. Quite love this one, obviously. This is cute, but I don't need it. Plus, I'm really only gonna have room for one rune word with the hat. We're not sacrificing, we're keeping all of our skeletons, and we're not using Army of the Dead, we're using Bone Storm for the defensive bonus. So yeah, there's not really a lot of summon stuff. Let's double check for minions. Minions isn't in here, really. Yeah, see, like this one didn't show up. This is the other one that I want. Okay, can I? No, I want to be able to favorite them. Can I not favorite them? Yeah, it says mark as favorite. Oh, I just clicked up in there. That's why. Okay, so we want the attack speed. We want the minion. We want that. That's 3. And we want the extra summons. Oh, I actually want, maybe we, oh, it's right there. I already grabbed it. So yeah, these are the 4 that we're going to be getting. Almost certainly. I don't really have room for anything else. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that I looked at this because now I know exactly what I want. These 3 plus the Bone Storm was aspect of the Shielding Storm. Yeah, that's going to be our build. Plus either the Butcher's Cleaver or the Golem Stick. I can't remember the name of. I have it on my other Necromancer. As I think I commented in part 5 that I seem to like every time I try to be flexible and just go with the flow, I still end up going down the paths that I'm most familiar with. And so here we are at level 60, a horde of lads and Golem. Yeah, I'm fairly confident that this will at least get me to Torment 1 and allow me to get points in Torment 1. Because I'm not sure at all that I'll be able to do. I'm almost certain at this point that there's no way I can get to Torment 4. None whatsoever. We are like 3/5 of the character we should be. So that puts me around here, if I'm lucky, I think. Although that's only if gear was everything. Gear isn't everything. Which is why I think I can probably get to Torment 2 and potentially do stuff there. And if I get some amazing sanctifications, we could probably get to Torment 3. Potentially get to Torment 3. But I think Torment 4 is completely out of the question. The reason why I'm so confident in that is because of Paragon. Thankfully, my season stuff carried over, so I've got quite a bunch of extra points, and my other seasonal character already had some Paragon. Or my other, not seasonal character, my other hardcore character already got me some Paragon. So I got 48 points to start with. And I'm going to, real quick, just get to the end of the line so we can talk about boards that I'm looking at. So my plan is to focus largely on just getting access to legendary nodes, and because the max that we're allowed to use is 136, maybe 32. 1 second, I do have the page here. I opened the rules thinking about going over them, and then we didn't really talk about them at all, but the rules will be in the description of this video. 136 Paragon points. And yeah. Well, I'll refund them at the end. I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have all the seasonal points. In fact, we can check real quick. Yeah, because the only things I have left are that and that. So my plan is to focus mostly on the glyphs and the nodes, legendary nodes, but I'm starting to wonder if that might be a mistake. Based on how I've been filling out these boards, I think I can comfortably get a hold of 3 glyphs or 3 nodes, but maybe only 3 total glyphs, counting the one on the starting board, as I might need to I might need to do some finagling. I think what I'm thinking is, here, let me find one that I would definitely take, which is Cult Leader. I'm probably definitely taking this one because it's going to get increased damage for their attack speed bonus. And when we have that aspect for attack speed bonus, it's going to increase their damage, which is quite nice. Plus this has a lot of summon damage in it. It does have stuff that's specifically for warriors and mages. I may actually end up skipping those over and just focusing on the ones that do all summons. Unfortunately, yeah, I guess I'll probably still get this for the bonus increased damage. I won't be able to make use of the sacrifice bonus, but that's okay. And then, unfortunately, his board has a lot of golem specific stuff. But if we switch to the golem buffing unique, I probably will want to focus on the golem for damage, and I may even pull out the nodes that buff my other lads damage and just count on them for defense and then count on the golem for offense. We'll have to see how it works out. But Hulking Monstrosity is a node that I would want Cult Leader. Maybe Flesh Eater, because I do consume quite a few bit of corpses in order to keep the bone mages up. But Scent of Death giving me armor and resistance would be fantastic. We don't need bone grafts, and I think the rest are all gonna be irrelevant. Oh, frailty might be important. Yeah, so maybe frailty, Cult Leader, and Hulking Monstrosity instead of, and then maybe try and get to Scent of Death, because what I'm thinking here is the most important one for me is maybe I'm gonna consider this, because I could put Scent of Death as my main board. And then go like up through here, grab this, spread out to all three sides. How large are these boards? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15. Are they really 19 by 19? I guess so, yeah, because they're odd. Oh, I should have counted here. All right, so in that case, I would need 19 points to get across, 19 points to get across. It'd be 38 points. Add like, let's say 50% for moving around and grabbing nodes. So on my center board, I'm probably going to end up spending damn near 50 points. And it's probably going to be, how much was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 to get across to here. Let's again add half, so that's 30. So I'm spending like 80, which means I'll have 56 to go into 3 other boards, which is fine, because when I'm not looking to really fill out those other boards, I'm looking to just grab the nodes. So we're probably looking at 2 glyphs if I'm going to just get the other nodes. I think we'll be okay. Let me look at the glyphs, because I may be able to like drop a board if I'm able to get an additional glyph that's synergistic. Yeah, because if I get amplify, that's only 10% boosty though. Blood drinker's not important. Can I favorite these? No, because I don't have them, right? Oh, well, you can't favorite them anyway. Increase damage to crowd control. Increase physical damage and gain movement speed for each active minion. I'll probably end up taking this since we're doing all physical damage anyway. And this will multiply our physical damage boost. So corporeal, I'm actually going to write these down. Corporeal is potentially really useful. Because I'll definitely appreciate the movement speed as well. Don't need that. Each time summons deal damage to an enemy, takes increased damage for up to 15%. I think that's just not a strong enough boost, considering I've only got so few. Fortifies me. I've already got decent fortification, and it's just 6% damage reduction. It doesn't get better. And I don't have corpse skills, right? So the first one makes that relevant. Increase critical strike damage. Critical strikes deal extra damage to health enemies that are not healthy. Could be useful. Which was that? I'll write it down just because I only have so much essence. We'll go over the full list. This is as much for me as it is for anyone who manages to watch this far and keep going. Desecrate, no. Exploit, increase damage to vulnerable targets. Dealing damage to vulnerable enemy increases my damage up to 10%. I don't think it's going to be strong enough. I'm not saying it's a weak glyph, but I'm saying if I only got 2, I want the best 2. Golem damage increase. This one, well, like I said, if I go into focusing entirely on the golem, then this will probably be an obvious choice. Plus, isn't there willpower? Yeah, there's willpower right here, so this would be a good spot for it. In fact, let me put that other board back down. Which one was it I was considering? Was it Scent of Death? Yeah, it was Scent of Death for defenses. And then that has Dex, willpower, okay. And Golem is willpower. Which was Essence? Essence is Dex, okay, convenient. And Corporeal, the Corporeal is probably the one I'm going to want to take over that, is Intelligence. Not interested in taking Eliminator. We already get a damage boost from elites, and there's already more damage boost to elites on the board, which is going to be the one I go down. I'm not going to take this one. I'm going to go down this side to get that one. Because we also get a damage boost down here from that. So I'll probably end up doing is wrapping around here to grab this, but then also going up this side. Actually, I might just completely ignore that one because I need to be very efficient in my board. Something like that, and then put one of the dex glyphs here. We'll see. We'll see, because it's what the glyphs I settle on and the boards I settle on are going to really end up making a lot of the decisions for me. Gravekeeper. No, maybe? The thing is, I consume those corpses. They don't tend to stick around. And they gotta be close anyway. Definitely not. Scourge, increase corrupting damage. No. Revenge. Mage. No, because if anything, we're gonna focus the golem, not the other summons. You gain damage reduction against close enemies for 5 dexterity, purchase range, deal increased damage to close targets. I think Territorial's not going to end up being useful. The reason being that I'm thinking that if I'm going to die, it's actually going to be from a ranged attack, not a close range attack. Because I do have my minions to body block me, and I will be putting a lot of distance between me and most enemies as we rise in difficulty. So this is just not going to be useful. Increased damage while fortified and gain increased damage reduction while fortified. That's a really nice defensive glyph. And it uses willpower as well. Then what is essence again? Critical strike against non-healthy enemies. More critical strike damage. Lots of crit strike damage. And then we have corporeal. I may have to end up trying to get 3 glyphs. I guess the question is, Undaunted, is that better? 15% damage reduction. And then increased damage. Compared to 15% armor, 15% all resistance, and increased critical strike damage. Although, honestly, I should just get both. I was thinking about, is that better defense? But I need both. So it's going to be Undaunted. I just need as much defenses as I can get in order to be able to take the stray hits that get thrown out. So it's going to be Scent of Death, Undaunted, probably Golem. I'll probably start with Corporeal, and then we'll consider going for the Golem one. I just don't think Essence is really going to end up being like it would. It's the 4th option, and if I can get to a 4th glyph, I think that would be too much. I don't think I'd be able to support it. The reason I'm considering 2 is because we already passed by this one, so it'd be foolish not to get it, obviously. And it wouldn't be too difficult to support because it has the willpower nodes and the dex nodes. So this is actually a really good spot. But that does mean I'm going to end up not getting this because I'm not going to go over here if I need this willpower instead. But no big deal. So we'll probably end up going very much like this down this line. Take these like this. We do need to move over anyway to go up to here. Do it. Oh wait, no, there's willpower right there though. How much willpower do we need for Undaunted? It's 25, and Golem is 25 as well. And we'll be getting 14. Yeah. 14, 19. I will eventually be in range. I think this one's in range, right? Yeah. This one will be in range. So that'll be 24. So we'll only need 1 more source of willpower. This one will be in range. But the thing is I don't know if we'll get strong enough to be able to even have legendary nodes. We'll definitely get the first range boost. This is troubling. There's not a lot of willpower over here. I think looking at it closer now. 1, 2. I'll have to figure that out. Because I just need to get it to 15 to get the first boost, which shouldn't be too difficult. But getting the second boost is going to be very challenging. I don't know that I should rely on having legendary glyphs. I don't think that's going to happen. Huh. But I will be able to get that. So 7, 5, and 5, 17. I go up this way and then cut over, then I would be cutting back. I'm just thinking, because if I give up this 7 here, we can still grab this, and instead of grabbing that, we could grab this and this and this. That's 15, 20 right there. I may even need to grab that. Or actually, I'm thinking about it, going up from here and then over might be the call. Just so that I can be closer to grabbing these, grab this easily. That might be what I need to do in order to actually get it active. Because this one is, because the problem here is like the range of the glyph for a legendary node goes out to here, and pretty much it's like it does cover this whole central area. So we got to pull back from the edge by 1, and that's the level 15 upgrade. And without that, it's even smaller. And I don't think I'll have it active at all at first, which is, you know, why we'll end up using the eliminator for a while, just to get more stats, I guess. Or what's the default? Yeah, because like we can only get tiniest amounts of willpower. What is Undaunted do? Yeah, it's also a willpower 1. Not enough willpower in range. Okay, maybe we don't put it there then. Well, I mean, all the ones I want to put down are willpower 1s though. We could put essence, or we could put corporeal down here actually. There's a lot more intelligence. Because we can go like this. Yeah, you know what? We'll end up putting corporeal here. Because we can grab oh, this also gives plus 10 intelligence. This one also gives plus 10 intelligence. I think it'll be worth it just to grab that, like that. Something like this. So 10 intelligence, 20 intelligence. I forgot these gave stats. 10, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, so that's enough. So this, I think, is our board for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That was about what I estimated, wasn't it? 30? Fantastic. Yeah, I think that's not going to be our first board. And we throw corporeal in there. Just because of the we're basically having to do it. Yeah, there's a lot more willpower around this one. So this will probably be, so we'll probably throw undaunted in there. But and then my plan, like I said, is we will figure out if going for percentage total armor and resistance or going for percentage, going for increased max life would be more useful. Because I'm only going to grab one of these sides, one or the other, to get up to here. Something like oh, there's armor over. No, there's also resistance. Never mind. I couldn't read. I can't read. Then I want to come up this way because it has the willpower. And we'll grab probably not a lot of the damage to injure enemy's nodes. In fact, I may even not get any of that and just come up here to grab the node. Oh, there's willpower there and there. So we probably will grab this just to get the willpower because 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that willpower will be in range. And then we'll come through here. Damage to healthy enemies will be useful, mostly because this will be a nice, easy path to get over to here. So we'll go like booda boom, booda boom, booda boom. It would be more efficient just to cut straight across. 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to this node, which will be the point where they would meet. But the thing is I would be taking intelligence, dex, and dex to save one node, or I could take willpower, which I'm going to take this node anyway. So actually, looking at it, I'm spending the same 3 because I'm taking this node anyway in order to get to here. So yeah, this is going to be perfectly healthy. Geez, this has turned into quite the mess. All right, because I was supposed to do like a quick 15-minute video to describe all this stuff, and here we are brainstorming still. This is supposed to be a quick recap. Oh, but yeah, anywho, so that'll get me that way, and then we probably will do the same thing over here just because we've already shown that, like, well, actually no, because if I'm taking this and this, then these would be spent. Whereas I can save a few nodes by going this way, because since I'm going, like, it's gonna be, if I'm not grabbing, am I grabbing that? Yes, I am kind of grabbing that. I guess I could go this way to grab this and also be over here. No. It's going to be most efficient to just go straight up this line to get up to here. And then over here, we'll have to consider how many points we have in need on which way we want to go. Because if we're coming straight up here, 1, 2 versus 1, 2, 3, 4. So we save nodes. So we probably will end up ignoring all of this. Because if I don't need this willpower, it would be better for me to just get to the other board to be able to get to access to another legendary node. Because depending on the boards, it only takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points to get to a legendary node. It's the glyphs that are harder to support. What do these other boards look like? Cult leader. That's an awkward spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 to get to cult leader. And then we can spend a little bit more over here. Summon life and armor for my summons. I really don't want to actually waste time on that. Shit. That's a shame. I mean, maybe it'll end up being useful. It's not like we don't want to give them armor and max life. It's just... it'll probably be one of the last, some of the last nodes that I buy. Monstrosity. All right, here we have some options because we could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to get to there. But if we go damage max life, oh, that's damage total armor for me. Golem armor, resistance to elements for summons, period. I think I want the damage though. So if we go 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. If we go 5 points out of our way, we can spend 5 more points to get to 20. I think that's just not going to be viable. I think we just have to snake in, grab the hulking monstrosity, and then that's the only thing we're going to really have. That's 14 for hulking. Okay, let me write these down too. Hulking monstrosity is going to take 14. What did we say cult leader took? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Cult leader is going to take 13. Cult leader, hulking monstrosity, and then Scent of Death was the one we're putting in the center. Oh, frailty is the other one we're going to get. Frailty. That's convenient. Okay, so that's like 12, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 4, 8, 10, 12. Yeah. At least 12. So that's 39 points for the extra. Yeah, we have that. Because we figured we'll spend 50 on the main board, 30 on the bottom board, which we pretty much confirmed, which will leave us with 56 to spare, so that's going to leave us with 17 to spare. So we'll have 17 extra to play around with. I do not see that being enough for us to get us another glyph. Unless the only way we would be able to get another glyph is by giving up one of the legendary nodes and rotating the board so that we can come in to get the glyph on one of the sides. So then the question becomes, what's stronger, the glyphs or the nodes? I'm pretty content with having Corporeal and Undaunted and not taking Golem, but there was one we could give up. I don't think so. Because this is going to be just way stronger. Golem is a minion, correct? Yeah, okay. Because not all summons are minions, some of them are companions. It's important to note. I was pretty sure he was, but I just wanted to double check and confirm. So, because the Golem node just increases his damage. It does increase it quite a bit, but that's all it does. Whereas the Undaunted is damage reduction. It's very important. Corporeal is not super important, but it's just that I need it's easier for me to put an intelligence node down here than anything else without spending quite a bit. So I could potentially put Golem down here when I have enough, because I know I'm going to have enough extra points to be able to, because we're going to have 17 extra points. We could spend that 17 extra points to get the Golem node online, and I would absolutely 10% physical damage for, swap that for massive Golem buff. It depends on when I'm at that point, would I end up needing more? Because I would love the move speed more. But if I really just need Golem damage over all my summons getting physical damage boost, then I could see us swapping this. So we still want Corporeal. Corporeal is going to get us through most of things, and then at the very end we switch to Golem. I think that's the way we're going to do it. Which one was Essence again? Oh yeah, crit strike boosts. I don't think I'm going to stress that. Like, I'm not really going to be able to get consistent crit strike anyway. We might experiment with it, but I think that's going to be it. Corporeal, Golem, and Undaunted. With Cult Leader, Hulking Monstrosity, and Flesh Eater. Not Flesh Eater. Cult Leader, Hulking Monstrosity, Scent of Death, and Frailty. With Frailty, or with, what is it? Scent of Death being our main one. I might as well lock this in. Conveniently, this glyph already fits here. Looking to see if there's any way I can save points. Because, like, I can shave these off to get 2 points there, and so I could shave off 20% damage, keep this, and go up this side instead of the other side. As I'm trying to save as many nodes as possible. But going up this side is more efficient than going up this side for now, because it gets me these intelligence, which I need. I need this plus 10 intelligence as well. Oh, I actually need, oh yeah, because the idea was to get this instead. Then we could potentially grab that as well, but I'm not going to grab it right now. Oh, no, none of this gets boosted further. But when we get Corporeal in there, I will want to grab this. I'll probably want to grab that as well. I'm trying to save as many points as possible right now. Just to keep it all nice and neat. We get 20 points. Now, as far as total life, max life, total armor, max armor, okay. We already kind of decided, like, we're not really going to have a lot of wiggle room on the other boards. Let me double check real quick, because we do have 17 extra points. Maybe, you know, give or take 1 or 2. What does what's around Cult Leader again? Armor for max life for my summons, so we're probably not going to spend any points there. And then, what's frailty look like? Again. Yeah, okay. So I could see us getting that or this. So there's similar nodes over here. So we could potentially take, and they both, this one says total resistance and life. This one says total resistance and armor. Okay. And then hulking monstrosity. As golem armor and resistance, which we're not interested in. And that's really the only thing to get. Okay, so was it frailty had it? Right, yeah. So frailty can potentially give us access to another set of those nodes that we see on Scent of Death. Total armor resistance, total resistance max life. I'm just checking to make sure that they're pretty much identical. Oh, I can see them here. Total armor, total resistance max life. That's those. Total resistance max life, total armor, total resistance. I was just double checking to make sure they both had resistance, so we can get the armor on one and the max life on the other, or we go double down on max life. My resistances I can have on any item. I can only have armor on my hat and my shield without getting sanctified, like for armor of some kind. And the sanctified bonus is another percentage bonus usually. I believe that's the only one you get, unless I get sanctified for like strength or something. So with only 2 pieces of armor, I don't think percentage armor is going to be as useful as percentage resistance, because resistance stacks for our intelligence. Yeah. That's the main reason. It's because of the intelligence. So we always want to take the resistance over the armor when we have a choice. Not because because we don't have much of a choice, to be honest. Plus we are getting some armor boost from Scent of Death. But as our resistances are going to be higher. So actually, we just got a big boost to our defenses. We'll pick those up later. I'm wondering if it might be more efficient to go this way. Instead of, because like we're going here, but we're already over here. No, because we only have to go down 2, whereas over here we have to go up several points. We have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 at least. Because we would be able to get these 2 if we go this way with this instead of going this way like I had originally planned. We could get more max life. Because I'm not super, like, damage to healthy enemies isn't super important. It does help us one shot though. You know what? I don't think I have that much boost against damage to healthy enemies anyway. So I think I actually won both of these stacks. But we have to go up this way in order to get the willpower that we need to power the glyph. But we don't have that glyph right now. So we will grab those. We'll also grab those. And we have one more point. Start our path. All right, that's going to be our board for now. Oh, 48 points spent. So yeah, we do have all the 36 extra. I think it's a pretty good game plan. I think that will definitely help. Like, I think we'll get through Torment and get all the challenges in Torment. I don't see us getting much further, though. Maybe Torment 2 will be comfortable, but I see us dying in Torment 2. Just because, like, time is of the essence. Alright, so yeah, there you go. As far as the skill tree goes, this will probably be flexed quite a bit as we go. I need the bonded in essence for the bony lads because the bone skeletons are a pain to keep alive. I guess I could just keep refreshing them. Yeah, you know what? I think I actually just want to get rid of this. We'll just keep resummoning the bone lads when they die. Once that's yeah, we need that. We need to keep them alive for now. We don't really care about. Oh, I deal increased. Yeah. Right. It's not increased ultimate damage. It's me deal increased damage. Me strong. I want to keep the gruesome mending. I have to look up healing buff and see exactly what it does and doesn't affect. Increased damage while healthy is useful because I'm almost always healthy. Corpses form from my skills or my minions. I fortify. It's just another source of fortification, which is nice. I want the close enemies deal less damage to me. I will potentially end up giving this up as we if we get into the higher difficulties, because I'll just want to be away from the enemies anyway. All right, now this lucky hit, it's 15% chance. My lucky hit even against feared enemies is what, like 40? Well, actually, hold on. I have a lot of lucky hit. I'm thinking about it. And we're considering having a bone storm up consistently. So I think the abhorrent decrepify is actually going to be more useful now. Specifically because the bone storm's lucky hit is so good. We're at 54% with it. So that's half of the time we get a 15% roll to reduce a cooldown by 1. I have a lot of cooldowns, so this is worth considering, especially considering the golem gets it as well, the bone storm. I need to be better at throwing my curses. I'm wondering. The dealing less damage is really the big thing. Well, no, it'll be fine. I'll just keep. I was considering getting the no mana Iron Maiden to be able to throw curses without stress, but no, Decrepify is just too good. Deal increased damage after consuming a corpse. I consume corpses quite regularly, and really the only place I would put extra points, I think. I mean, there's Titan's Fall, but would be the bone to get Bone Prison solidified. Give her 1 point in Reap, which is just there because it gives you damage reduction. Not that I would ever use Reap, because we already know that our skill bar is basically set in stone. But yeah, this is just silly. so we keep it, but I don't think I'm gonna, I mean, that's just 2 points to get down to the core. Or the Corpse and Macabre section. So that I could take Bone Prison, which is amazing. We want Blood Mist up as often as possible. We don't care about Decrepify being leveled. Then we have Bone Storm. The cooldown reduction to Bone Storm may end up making this more. So how much? We're at 20.7. Without any of them, it's at 24. So it only improves it by a few seconds. It does improve the healing, but I'm not concerned about the healing. So you know what? No. We go all in on the Bone Storm because that's going to cut it by 10 seconds. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with the damage. We don't deal our damage. The summons deal damage. All we're concerned with is cooldown and buffs. And I think that's the best way to do that. Blood Mist is really powerful, but if it's only going to get a few seconds extra, like that's fine. We have the Reapers for a reason. They give us cooldown. Alright, that's our build. Don't see me changing much of it. I might change... No, because it's only bone skills. We get bonuses for that. Yeah. We don't deal damage with our bone skills. I mean, we deal some damage with Bone Storm, but not really. So I don't think I'm going to end up changing any of these. Because even if we go in on the golems... Oh, I just noticed my gold is pretty stacked. And by pretty stacked, I mean, I was worried about having gold that I had left over from my other character. But it's like, we've actually gotten quite a bit of the gold here, so it's going to be negligible how much gold is left over from my other hardcore character. So, thank you for joining me for this big old ramble, I guess. If you made it this far, it's fantastic. Love it. Yeah, there's our new adjusted resistances and armor. Yeah, resistance is where we're going to get most of our damage reduction from. Armor is just going to be a secondary, because we only get it from the hat and the shield, which we will be using a hat and a shield, which means I really need to get a hat that has 2 open slots to have access to a rune word. And I'm not sure what would be the best rune word. Probably, oh, it's, no, I absolutely need it because I need the one that reduces the cooldown of your ultimate. Yes. With the Sir rune. Or the one that does summons, one or the other. But I need to reduce my ultimate cooldown faster and more consistent so that it's always up. That's the goal. Well, we'll experiment with that, because I could potentially also do the one that reduces my cooldowns by 0.1, because I believe it reduces all of them, and that would net me... Well, the reducing my ultimate would be faster, but the reducing all of them would allow all of my skills to refresh faster, so that might... Considering I have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 cooldown skills, that might end up being more useful. We'll have to experiment. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. I'm pretty confident about Torment. Not sure about Torment 2. But gonna have to climb up these difficulties, which is going to take some time, because I don't want to get destroyed. Probably end up doing the pit to feel them out, since we need to level stuff up. Well, if that's the case, then I guess my time for here is pretty much done for now. And marking that as our favorite for a while. And yeah. All right, so yeah, that's gonna be it. Very happy with the look that we ended up with. Looks fantastic. All the lads, our bony boy, fleshy boy. Subo. Like Subo. Subo's great. He lets me know where the enemies are. Got our right here. Is it right here? I believe so. On defense. He's supposed to pop out when I'm injured. Hold on. Right here. What are you doing? I don't know that I've ever seen him come out. So I've never been injured. At least while I had his thing on. Interesting. Alright, well, I think we'll do this then. Control impairing effect. Because if I... Or leave it on injured? I think I'd leave it on injured as my ultimate panic button. But that's good to know that I've saved myself from ever being injured, because I don't know that I've ever seen him come out. Oh. I forgot that they give stashes. So there will be a little bit of looting in this video. Gain accent? No. No. Column? No. Maximum number of lads. Maybe. Increase critical strike chance when you cast Corpse Centrals. No. Maximum number of lads. Oh, no. I already have maximum number of lads. I'm not giving up this amulet until I get a replacement for it. So, yeah, they're worthless anyway.
You look like you've seen battle. Good materials here.
Don't talk to me. I'm not allowed to talk to NPCs. You're allowed to salvage, though. It's the one thing we can do. Alright, so that will actually be it. I have stuff that I need to do. I have laundry to dry and people to visit. And then Chinese food to pick up and consume. And after that, I will return. Make another video. Probably with commentary. And I'm going to do the no commentary specifically for like mindless grinding. So for next episode, while we're exploring the pit to see how comfortable we are, we will have commentary. And that'll be this evening. And then tomorrow there might be some time. I'm just planning things out. I need to stop rambling. This was only supposed to be a 15-minute video. I'm out of here.